Hello and good evening, AFL fans. It is the AFL Armchair Advisors. We are all three of us back in the studio, round 23, the final round of the minor round for AFL season 2022, and we're going to be tearing it apart. I am your host, Rich, of the Armchair Advisors, of course, and in doing this show, in presenting this glorious, this wonderful show that we do every week, it simply wouldn't be the same if we did not have the man who is in command of the stats, the bets, the punts, literally everything an AFL fan or punter would need to know. It is Sensible Dan. How are you getting on, mate?
I'm going well, mate. It's been a good week. We went to the footy on Saturday, which was a good laugh.
Advisors went to the footy.
We did, and I'm just flying on cloud nine at the moment, mate. Just loving life.
Beautiful. I like to hear that. A little bit of positivity just to spark things up.
Just a sprinkling.
Oh, fantastic. And of course, to my left, I had to think about it there, is the advisor's answer to Homer Simpson, so much so that I set him a challenge off the cuff, just as a bit of a piss take, to dress like Homer Simpson. Could he do it? Desmond Van Bus has, he's read the assignment and he's passed. He's passed with flying colours. Wow. It's nice when the external matches the internal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I understood the assignment, mate. That's all I'm saying.
How's the facial hair on the go as well? Yeah. This is as beady as I've ever seen you, I reckon.
Not bad.
No, it's as full because I'm used to being chlorinated. Because I'm used to being chlorinated, so I haven't actually grown hair in my body until I was 22.
Obviously trying to look menacing for his upcoming fight as well.
Oh, hear that. Man's got a fight coming up. What's the details?
All I'm saying is this.
Can we live stream it?
Just read this.
Can you give us some details? When is it?
What are you doing?
No, it's in 2 weeks, but it's a little fun. It's a fun day. It's not a.
It won't be fun for your opponent though, will it?
No. Getting big fat cakes rubbed in his face. That's what's going to happen there.
I'm self-conscious.
No, I'm in the booty. You're just gonna be dragging that wagon into the octagon.
Big tea bag.
Big Rakesh.
Oh, no, that's naughty. Alrighty, let's leap into it. 9 big games on the slate. So many different permutations, calculations, possible outcomes. They will be coming, so to speak, at every stage of the games and rounds of this week. Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, that got him.
It did.
Mid-golf as well. Man loves the gargle. Right, let's have a look at the Friday night game at the Gabba. We are looking at the Brisbane Lions taking on the Melbourne Demons. Now, Dan, Saints pushed the Lions a lot more than what I thought they would do. The Saints were just the Saints, were they not?
Yep.
But that's not good enough. Brisbane, at this stage of the game, should have not been bothered, not let them get a run on it at any stage, choked that out at the Gabba. Well, no, sorry, it was at Marvel, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Shouldn't have mattered.
No.
They should have turned the screws. You want to be a premiership contender. You're right in the frame for it. St Kilda been real ordinary. Why did they let them back in? Brisbane can't afford to be doing this.
No.
Should we be worried?
Yes. Then, I'm not worried because I don't have any money on them because they're literal pretenders.
Ooh,
they are absolutely no chance of winning a flag this year. They actually should have lost that game. If Max King could kick straight, they would have lost that game.
Kick 5-10, I think it was, in that last half.
What the Lions or Max King?
10.
The Saints.
Max King kicked 5 behind straight.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't kick
Disgusting.
any goals at all.
No, I know that, but in total, I think they kicked something like 5 goals, 10 and a quarter.
Could have been. Anyway, look,
horrendous.
Big poo.
No good. The Saints should have won that game, and we'll talk about them in a little bit. But the Lions, I just have absolutely no faith in them whatsoever at the moment. I really don't. And it seems seemingly every time they travel to Victoria, that's when they play their worst. You're going to have to do that. You are going to have to go to Victoria in finals.
And play someone a lot better than the St Kilda. Speaking of, Melbourne Demons are in town after a stirring victory. It's unbelievable.
It's good that they won a close one because they haven't been winning the close ones recently.
I think that sets them up perfectly for finals. That hardens a team. That builds a lot of confidence. Big time.
Big Cos lettuce over here. Far out.
It's humongous. I just think Carlton gave them pressure and they just absorbed it all day and came out with the chockies. That's perfect. That's a premiership team.
Bang on. And they knew what to do at every stage in terms of we're getting pressured. This is the set play.
Yep.
If there's a minute to go and we're less than a goal or there's a goal in it, this is the set play. They knew. They're so well drilled at the minute. Melbourne.
Yep.
They're so well
Just
drilled.
not flustered at all.
No, they're not. And look, I'm expecting this to be a genuinely fiery first half, and then I'm expecting the Lions to go to bed again because they just keep doing that. They keep switching off, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we need Zorko to save us, or we need Neil to save us.
Or we need Cam Rayner to kick 4 goals.
In this instance, it was Cam Rayner that pulled his socks up and saved the day. And if that comes, Melbourne's going to take full advantage of that. I've got no faith in the Lions. Either I'm going Melbourne 1-39.
Yep, I can't agree anymore, mate.
Well, I've actually haven't added anything to this game yet besides Cos Pickett. And as you can see, I've got extensive notes this week. Extensive notes. So do you know what I've decided to do? Because it's last round, and a lot of these games don't matter. This one does matter. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of these games are poo-poo games. Don't know how many they are because I haven't looked. All right, what I'm going to do...
I don't know how many there are.
I'm just going to do the calculations in my head right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 22 Lions up against 22 Demons in my mind, and they're all going to have a battle royale in the middle of the Gabba, and who's going to win?
Are they grown Lions or Cubs?
Demons are going to win every day, mate.
Gee whiz.
Because how the hell are 22 Lions going to go through Demons?
And
Demons
then-
are
and
like
then-
ghosts, mate.
Well,
They're on fire. The
then-
Lions will bite into fire.
Last line standing, and then Keith comes in with the money in the bank contract and steals it at the end.
That's exactly what it is.
I like that. No, so the Demons are getting up. Demons are getting up. They're just a much better mascot.
Thank you for that, Des. That's possibly the stupidest thing you've ever said. And I mentioned permutations. Let me explain. Now, this is interesting. You say these games don't matter. If Melbourne win, they finish as well as high as second, as low as
This game
third.
matters.
But both these teams need to win to lock up top 4.
Yeah, the winner goes top 4. Loser goes 5th.
Well, the loser could go as poorly as 6th.
It's good, isn't it?
So there's a lot of
That doesn't 5th, 6th.
And it will be Brisbane. And they'll be playing Richmond, probably.
How funny.
That's nasty.
And that is bad.
That is a poutine pounding if
It
I've ever
is.
seen one.
It is. Bing bong. F my life. That's what that will be for 22 Lions up on the Gabba. No, I've got some bets on board. Don't you worry about that. Now, in terms of goal kickers, there's only one bloke at the minute that I can trust reliably, week in, week out, kick a goal, rain, hail,
Can
or
I guess?
shine, and that is Eric Hipwood.
I was going to say Nakai Cockatoo.
No, he hasn't played in a little while.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to go something silly like that. So I had to bring it back. It's Eric Hipwood. All day long. He's kicked something like a goal in every one of his last 6 or 7 games.
It's not bad.
Like horrendously reliable, and he's still paying like $1.35, 8 somewhere in that vicinity. Couldn't go past him. Had to throw someone else in there for a bit of value, so I went Lincoln McCarthy for an anytime goal, as well as Stephen May, 15 plus, Dane Zorko 20, and Angus Brayshaw, Jack Viney for 25 disposals. All of that together about $6. You can do what you want. If you are a punter, take those legs, take any of them, take none of them, do what you want to do, gamble responsibly, etc., etc. Dan, what do you got?
I only really had Cam Rayner to add to that for a goal, $1.36. Career best outing on the weekend.
Action.
4 goals, so very, very nice. And Clug for 25 plus. He has been reliable as they come.
I had 24 last week.
Yeah, that's...
Does that worry you?
Aberration. Nah, it doesn't worry me.
Okay.
Nah. Look, the Demons, very similarly to Collingwood, we've discussed it before, they love giving up stats to opposition midfielders, so Clug will feast on that.
I'm happy with that.
Clug.
Clug.
I'm happy with that. Let us now have a look at the Saturday game. First of its kind, in this particular round, that is, Desmond, in which the GWS Giants will be playing the Fremantle Dockers at Manuka Oval. What do you reckon?
Giants actually put up a little bit of fight.
Bit of
I enjoyed
chutzpah.
to see that. Bit of poo on the lip.
I've got thoughts on that, but I'll let you go. Go on.
Well, was it doggies? Doggies paw.
No, you speak from the heart. You say what comes into your mind, and then we'll talk about it.
So I've got 22 Giants up against 22 Dockers.
What's a docker? What, do you mean like an actual anchor or like a wharf worker who's in a union?
A wharf worker in a union.
Okay, sure.
Against 22 Giants.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going for the Dockers, because there's no way that the Dockers are losing this.
Because you can't overcome the CFMEU.
Nah, look.
That's exactly right.
Nah, look, if
because the taxpayers will come pounding on those Giants.
If that was real life, though, 22 Giants are winning every day of the week.
Of course they are.
They're
One
pounding,
giant will
pounding the
win.
hell out of 22 wharf workers.
Squish. Done. That's it.
You're exactly spot on. I'm going to Dockers as well.
Because even though I thought, oh yeah, I'll look at it this week and I'll see how they go with this mascot showdowns. Nah, I can't even do it for this game. It's too silly because there is no way that the Dockers are losing this.
What, the mascots?
No, the Dockers in general.
Oh, the game itself.
The
Yeah,
actual players on field.
Sure, we're back talking about football again.
Correct.
I enjoyed the fact that Freo, it was, for all intents and purposes, a wet game. Okay.
A wet gun.
It was. No, that was. Oh, no, I can't say it.
You've thrown him out.
I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it.
There's more where that come from, by the way.
What, wet guns?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just wait. There's a scramble coming.
more playing for West Coast, to be honest.
golly.
Oh, no, I'm not happy about it. No, look, it was for all intents and purposes a boggy game.
Yep.
Freo this year have typically gone to water during said sloppy games.
Sprinkling.
Pretty much, yeah.
Boggy wet gun of a game.
The word gay was in there at some point, I'm sure. But it's like, look, condensation in the air,
Yes.
Freo's out of it.
Correct.
That didn't happen this week.
Correct.
And it was in a derby as well. So
Correct.
it's, you know what I mean?
And West Coast did try to get under their skin big time,
huge.
starting all in brawls and all that sort of nonsense. So it was a good win for Freo.
Freo held them out.
They had to grind it out.
Is that going to tire them? Because those games, you know what they're like.
I
They
don't.
are sapping for the legs. And this time of year as well. I
Quite
don't know.
possibly. I mean, it's basically 7 days rest. Call it 7 days rest between games, though.
They're really going to need it. And look, you said that the Giants had a bit of pizzazz about them. I don't know. I felt like a ton of them were just padding their own stats, and there was a lot of them that were prepared to start a bit of niggle. I didn't see anything in the way of a cohesive, team-oriented plan, set plays, anything like that. I didn't see anything like that. It was individual blokes that were either statting up or that were providing niggle and attack on the contest.
Look, I thought they gave it a red-hot crack. They were much better than the week before, but you are spot on in saying that it was just a big suckfest.
Realistically.
Circle jerk. I think there was about 7 Giants players that had over 25 disposals.
Unbelievable.
Like,
It's not bad.
what do you? Yeah, but
Whitfield,
what
where were
you?
you?
But what are you doing with them? If 7 players having 25 disposals and you're putting up 50 points, that's crap.
It's horrendous. And it's interesting, McVeigh came out early in the week and said that we don't want to be a team that just relies on having talent, and then that's that. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me that, no, forget, no player exodus. No, he's going to be shopping blokes out.
Yeah.
And they need to.
He will make a very good head coach.
think so.
When he has a proper crack at it. The word is Adam Uze is the front runner for the Giants job at the moment. Whether or not that comes to fruition, we'll see. But it's a good job for a coach. There is talent there. You don't have to do a hell of a lot. You just got to get the best out of what's there already.
He said that back line is going to last them another 10 years. That back line at GWS is going to hold up for a long time. This is a very tall back line coming up against a very short Freo forward line.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, Sensible Dan, in your opinion, have an effect here?
On Freo pumping them?
Yes.
Nah.
What does
I'm going Dockers 1-39.
Well, Freo have locked in a home final. Like, they're clearly 6th. They're 2 games ahead of Richmond, who are 7th. Does that play into the Dockers' mind? Because they've already locked in a home final.
If they win, they go as high as 3rd. If they lose, they go 6th.
Yeah, but if they win, it's not going to work out because Sydney aren't losing the Saints. Let's be real here. And Melbourne and Brisbane are playing each other. So they go as high as 3rd if
Everything else, yeah. It's best case scenario all the way around.
Realistically, if you look at the games ahead, Freo could probably finish as high as 5th.
Potential.
Does that matter?
Wow.
Does that matter to them? Like, they're still going to win the game, but that'll be laying on their minds. When you think of Jezza playing golf at the moment.
What you would like to see from them, they're going into finals at the moment, 2 wins. You'd hate to go in with a loss on the end of that. 3 wins in a row heading into finals sets you up well.
Beautifully. No, I'm strongly in agreement. Freo 1-39. Don't know if I said it. Did I need to? Probably not. Just creating a bit of atmosphere around it. Do you get me? Exactly. Des, any final thoughts here?
Nah, I'm ready to move on to the next one.
Beautiful. Let's talk bets. Dan, what do you got?
I've got Hayden Young for 20 plus disposals, $1.30. I've got William Marody for 25 plus disposals, $1.48. And Michael Walters for a goal, $1.28.
Mickey Walters.
Oh, McDonald's.
He's back. Son.
Sonny.
What's Son?
Son. That's Dad said his nickname.
That's his nickname.
That's sick.
Because his dad was Sonny Walters. And so he's son of son. He's son.
That's awesome.
Son. Yeah, I love it.
It's very good.
I'm a big fan.
It's very good.
I like that a lot, actually.
I've got young Chappers Heath Chapman for 15.
Oh, Paul.
I've got young Himmers Himmelberg for 20. I've got young the Broders Will Brody for 25. Josh Kelly doesn't deserve a nickname, but I've got him down for 25 as well.
Josh's.
And I also had Son for an anytime goal, if you don't mind.
Nice little fluffer.
It is a lovely little fluffer. I saw the value. I saw his record. I thought, I will have myself a piece of that. And also Cal Ward, as reliable as the day is long, had 29 last week, backing him in for 20 this week, altogether about $7. Fill your boots.
Not bad.
Take that to the bank.
B-E-A.
You know, it won't be taken to the bank.
Go on then.
This next game.
Oh, no, let's have a look.
Goodness.
Oh, no. Saturday at Marvel Stadium.
We've got a couple of stinkers.
Who did this?
You
It's
guys.
North Melbourne Kangaroos versus the Gold Coast Suns.
I'm putting a timer on. You guys have 60 seconds, and I'm going to wrap it up.
Each?
In 20. Nah, 60 seconds between you.
Okay.
And I'm going to wrap it up in 20, and then you do your bets. I'll wrap it up in 20. All right, ready? And go.
I mean, I don't even really need 60 seconds, to be honest with you. I'm tipping the Suns. Earlier, the big story, obviously, is earlier on when I wrote these notes, we all thought Clarko was getting the North job. And that looks like it might be out the window. So what do they do from here?
We'll have a yarn about that a bit later. We'll yarn into that. Look, physicality and pressure nailed the Suns. They had 21 turnovers in the first quarter against the Cats. If North bring a similar sort of intensity as what they did against the Crows to this game, I expect you're going to see a lot of turnovers from the Suns, who now have nothing to play for. North against the Crows, it was a nasty grinding game, and they very nearly pulled it, which was fantastic for them. Shows that they've got a bit going forward. LDU and Simpkin are goats. No forward line to speak of. I expect it'll be a low-scoring game.
All right. 22 Kangaroos, 22 Suns.
He's going to do this all day.
Yes, he is.
Who is going to win in a fight between 22 Suns and 22 Kangaroos?
It's fairly perfunctory.
There you go. Let's do the bets.
What,
Go
you're
Gold
saying
Coast.
Suns?
Gold Coast. They're going to fry him.
I'm actually saying North Melbourne. I'm going North 1-39.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Good on you.
They're gonna fry
I don't hate it.
I'm on a hot hand at the minute. I went 9 from 9 in tips last week, and I got the margin.
Just wait till the next game.
I'm on a hot hand
got
at the
a big
minute.
Des
No.
dog.
Call me Cool Hand Rich.
It'll be
Man, can't lose.
that'll be another quick one. I've got bets wise. I've got Ben Ainsworth for a goal,
Ooh,
$1.33.
the human brain.
Paul Curtis for a goal, $1.50. We saw him jag 2 on the weekend.
Jamie Lee.
I like Paul Gers.
He's not bad.
Jamie Lee.
He's fine. And Nanderson for 25 plus disposals, $1.45.
The big chicken burger. Young Nando's.
Oh, Jamie Lee.
I like just saying random things that set him off. Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Jamie Lee's a great name though.
Jamie Lee, yeah. Embarrassing as well. Funny. It's good because they look alike. That's why it's such a... Yeah.
They don't look alike.
That's the joke. Just
We spent too much time on this game.
No, I've enjoyed this game. Look, Jai Simpkin, LDU for North, 25 apiece for those bad men. Noah Anderson as well, 25 disposals, thanks. Elijah Hollins kicked 3 goals in his last 4 games for the Suns. Yep. The Dutchman, Elijah Hollins. There you go. Yeah.
The old Amsterdam.
The tulip farmer.
Not quite as good as Jamie Lee.
No, nothing's going to top that. I've peaked early. Holland's anytime goal. Brandon Alice for 20 disposals. Bailey Scott for 15. I think he had 19, 20, something like that on the weekend. And he's been, you brought him onto my radar last week and he's been solid. And I've also gone both teams to score 60 points or more this week. Now, Suns only hit 59 against the Cats.
Charles kicking 10 in his last game.
And the last time either of
He's
these...
retiring.
in his last go, yeah.
I've completed AFL, mate. I'm out.
What more does man need to achieve, really? But no, the last time these teams went under that threshold was back in round 18, and I'm confident that they're going to finish the game.
34.
Yeah, the year with a few goals. Put all of that together, $7-8, something like that. Lovely. 3 games done.
Nah, we got to do this next game. I want the bad taste out of my mouth.
Oh,
Rich.
gee whiz.
I'm breaking the.
No, that's fair. Yeah,
it is bad.
No, it's fair.
But I mean, I've got my notes here.
I'm telling you.
22. And I can read them in 3 seconds.
I could just about do mine. I'd need double-digit seconds. But
I'm doing mine first. I've got 22 Cats against 22 Eagles.
Yeah.
What type of eagle are we talking about?
This is it. A bald?
The eagle,
a wedge tail?
Eagles would beat the Cats.
Wedge tail?
If you're just talking regular house cats.
No, what size cats? Saber-tooth?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you put up a saber-toothed cat against a wedge-tailed eagle, it's a good fight.
It is. It would be interesting.
Eagles have got the advantage.
I'm thinking.
Airborne.
I'm thinking that the Cats have, because they're the premiership favourites, they get one call, like one ring in, and they get Catwoman. And Catwoman can beat 22 Eagles. So, Cats.
Remember earlier when I said that's the stupidest thing you've ever said?
Yep.
He's not just scraping the bottom of the barrel.
It's like Wheel of Fortune. So when they get
it's not like Wheel of. It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It's like Wheel of Fortune. They get to call one friend. He's not scraping the bottom of the barrel. His man's got a diamond tipped drill and it's straight through the bottom of the barrel, and now he's digging as hard as he can to China.
I just would like to remind you, who is the most intellectual in regards to mathematics and English?
I don't know. Dan, do you want to answer that one?
Pod?
Well, it doesn't really matter, mate. That was a game show. There's 3 years worth of evidence to suggest that is not the case.
And now
Amazing.
I'm smarter. As you said about the diamond drill, mate, pressure makes that diamond. And that one is firmly in between the eyes.
You dead set need to go to bed. You've been on the syllabisons and it's not helping you whatsoever.
Cats winning.
Cats are winning
that is
40
literally
plus.
my notes.
Cats winning the flag.
There's not a ton to say here. I mean, look,
Cat's flag.
no, I did have a few little things to say. I expect Geelong to rest a few blokes. I mean,
Well, Jez is already playing golf.
yeah, he's always pinged a hammy or something, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Was a
he's
hamstring?
playing-
There you go.
playing
He's
golf.
resting.
Yeah, I would have thought. Yeah.
Couple of weeks off.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
make sure the hammies are right for final.
You're not playing Selwood this week, surely.
No. I mean, they rested Duncan last week. They just,
Danger.
Danger
a couple of weeks ago.
wouldn't that be nice to have that?
I reckon Guthrie takes a spell.
Wouldn't that be nice to have that luxury?
I think Guthrie takes a spell.
Probably.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. And you know what? Hawk as well. Why not?
Stengel
Go
can
on.
play all day.
Stengel's
having a time of his life.
Whereas West, look,
Stengel playing as the key forward this week. Just, that's how little respect they have for the
Pagan's
England.
paddock.
They
Yeah.
still will.
with Dyson Steele. To be honest, probably not the worst idea because he's got
You could
toe.
certainly do worse.
He's got toe on him.
If I was Chris Scott this week, I'd just go back to front with the positions to send all the forwards, all the forwards down back, all the backs down forward.
I remember playing.
Inside midfielders outside midfielders
On
inside.
the wings.
I remember playing first footy back in the day when we were in year 12 and we played your old mob, Trinity. And at halftime, we were up by that much that the coach, ex-West Adelaide lad.
Oh, yeah, Neil Craig.
He come over and he said, all right, boys, good half. Now, no disrespect to our opponents, but I want everyone to kick and handball on their opposite side for the rest of the game. Gee whiz. Don't be surprised if Scotty pulls out a similar line at halftime. I mean, I'm sorry, West Coast, the game, we've heard it all said before, the game's gone past them in terms of that slow
Barley, mate.
that slow kick mark down the line style of play is just, it's gone. It's years out of date. The blokes need to get a strong preseason into them and just do nothing but running. Just do nothing but fartlek the entire time.
So what's this game at 4:05? The game will finish, around 7:05? They're in Bali by 12 o'clock on Saturday.
That's doable.
It absolutely is.
That's
doable.
very doable.
And then easy.
Cats 40 plus. Let's talk
done.
bets.
Yep.
Tyson Stengel, 2+ goals this week, I think. Tatkins has now gone back to his natural habitat, what with Tom Stewart back in the team and a full complement of midfielders. I think he'll just have his perfunctory 15, 16 and then he'll go home. So 15 for Atkins, 20 for Brandon Parfit. Hell, I'm loving his game at the minute. He had 2 goals on the weekend as well. He's peaking.
Everyone's good for Geelong. Name one bad player in their 22.
Grindwise.
Bad. That's
Personally.
That's rude. That's brutal.
I don't think he deserves to be in the team.
Yeah, but how would he fit in Adelaide's team? He'd be like top 5.
He'd be captain, but we know this. But we're not talking about Adelaide. We're not bothered about that. Liam Duggan, 20+ disposals. Shannon Hearn, 20+. I think it's going to be back there a fair bit on the day. And Sam Menenengola, as the commentators are determined to describe him as. Anytime goal for him. All of that together, $13. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of value in this game.
You could have some fun with this game.
There was a lot of value.
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason the prices are so high. Try and get eyes on the product.
Why not?
I've got Brad Close for a goal. Really, to add to that, you stole my others. So Brad Close for a goal, $1.46.
I'll do that. $1.46.
Yes.
That's all right. That's all right.
And I think this will be one of those games where everyone will just get on the scoreboard, have their fun. It'll be perfect.
Stuart, he's been quiet.
Why not?
Feed the man.
Yep.
Feed him, Mungo.
Jed Buse. Why not?
Big Busey.
Yeah.
Big Busey to line up from 50.
Yeah.
Hello, boys. All right. Speaking of stupidity and nonsense, last week we got a bit of flack. We were too cerebral, too highbrow, right? Too much education, letters, numbers. Don't need to worry about them. Leave that.
That feedback was mostly my burner account just after losing. Just salty as.
I wondered who Wan Dorland was. I did wonder. I was like, that name rings a bell. That's odd. I got a lot of heat from
Go Lover 69.
Wet Cunt 41.
I got a billion messages from one Jay Desmond, Jay Desmond, just cheering about how much of an intellect Desmond Van Bus is.
I just love
you got some fans out there.
I just love him. Do you remember when we got that? We got hate one time from one of you blokes, and they absolutely
One of you blokes.
They absolutely shat on there. And then you said you want more Desmond.
Yeah.
You made it look like it was me, you cunt. That's fucking funny.
I don't have to bleep that. That's annoying.
Yeah. Will you have to?
I would have thought, yeah. YouTube takes a dim view of the C word.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's a shame. But no, we're bringing it back down to earth this week. It's Desmond Scramble. It's back for round 23. Stupider and dumber than ever. Des, what do you got?
Got some nicknames for you.
He's been copying.
Some nicknames for you.
It's good, isn't it?
All right, and you're going to just tell me what player you think of, and if I don't agree with it, I'm going to ask for a repeat because it's round 23. It's almost finals time, and I want you to tick. I want you to tick on the same tick that I'm ticking. Do you get what I'm ticking?
No.
All right.
I legitimately don't.
No.
Number 1.
Right.
The Shart. Who's the Shart?
So what I'm telling you who I think is the Shark.
Who's the Shark?
Don't look at me. I've got nothing.
This is just libelous nonsense.
I'm prepping because I know what's
Why is
coming.
it libel?
You know them all.
No, I know one because he gave it away. Keep going.
The Shark.
It's just rude.
It is rude.
Latham Vandermeer.
That is rude.
You're nasty.
Yeah.
And I'm going to accept
Oh.
it. All right.
I'm going to accept it.
Avo breath.
Avo breath. Jake Lever.
Nice.
You can see it.
Wet gunt.
That's just
That was the one I was waiting for,
Oh,
and I knew it was coming my way.
I knew that was coming. That's just ridiculous.
I said it to him because I knew he would take it.
Literally, no one in the AFL is a wet gun.
No, who's the fattest bloke? I don't know. Degoe? Wet gun?
Stringer.
Stringer.
There you
surely.
go. Perfect. So there is someone that is a wet gunt. All right.
No, we're not saying
There's
that.
not. I'm not saying
Right.
that.
No.
Love lips.
Love lips.
Yes.
Love lips.
Surely.
Josh Rochelle.
Surely.
Yeah, right
Has
there.
to be.
Yeah, his bumble. I'd say we've seen. What was it? His hinge, wasn't it? Yes. Josh Rochelle. If you like both hands on the wheel, if you like taking the car for a drive in the hills, because man likes a high drive apparently.
He has a big high drive.
A really high drive. Go on.
Speaking of high drive,
Oh no.
Sex Pistol.
Oh no.
I probably have to say Josh Rochelle again.
Desmond.
Desmond was right up there. Yeah.
Desmond's huge.
Yeah.
The old pistol.
Big
All right,
saves.
brisket teeth with an F.
Brisket teeth with an F. Oh, you know,
What does that mean?
yeah.
Brisket teeth. You're the one that's doing it.
He's actually got downs this week, and it's terrible.
Uh,
You're bringing marginalised people down.
Brisket teeth.
I'll tell you, if Stephen Milne was still in the league,
Yeah.
you can see him being referred to as brisket teeth.
But why?
Jeremy Finlayson. I heard him being interviewed on the weekend, and I don't know, it's sort of stuck with me. Yeah. Jeremy Finlayson.
I just don't get I've never heard that terminology.
Does he
before.
like brisket? We don't know. Does he have teeth? I assume so. Jeremy Finlayson. There you go.
Nice. Chicken crimpy.
Chicken crimpy? Mmm. That's actually a difficult one. Who would get around a big box of chicken crimpies?
Let's see, that one's you can that's not liable.
He's been my go-to for a long time for many of these questions that have turned up. But Nick Holman.
Why?
Look at him.
I'll say Jimmy Rowe.
Yeah.
He looks like he knows his way around an
Actual.
unhealthy snack.
Actual.
All right,
I
I
like
got
that.
one for you.
Go on then.
Lizzo.
Oh no! He's pulled the worst out. So I've got to come up with who in the AFL would suit the nickname Lizzo.
Yeah, because they like lizards. Who's got a lizard farm?
Because they like lizards.
Yeah, they
Well,
call
Nick
it
Blakey's the obvious answer.
lizard boy. And old Lizzo over there. Look at him.
Then. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
You are a
There's
travesty.
3 more.
There's 3 more.
Yeah, we've got 3.
You are having a laugh. I'm going Nick Blakey. There you go.
All right, Pony.
I don't know.
Who's Pony?
What does that mean? Because he's feeding them?
I don't know. You're the
And
nickname.
Tom Hawkins, because he's got a farm.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that from you.
All right, and
It's not
final one,
G-rated
Rich.
in that.
Buttermilk.
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 Well, Stringer's already gone.
I wish I finished with the Shark.
The Sharks, that was a horrendous one to open the account with.
Brisket teeth.
Buttermilk. Gee whiz. He's again Tom Hawkins because he's got a dairy farm, doesn't he?
He does.
Oh, it makes me hungry, Buttermilk, thinking about it.
Shite. Can I go double? Can I have Tom Hawkins as well?
Yeah.
Can I just go Tommy
Yeah,
again?
Tom Hawkins.
Yeah, Tom Hawkins. Buttermilk Hawkins.
I can't believe that you said Ned McHenry was Lizzo.
No, Ned McHenry weighs less than.
2 Lizzos.
No, Ned McHenry weighs more than half a Lizzo.
As he should.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
As most
2
men
Ned
should.
McHenrys weigh more than 1 Lizzo.
Yeah. So one Ned McHenry weighs more than half a Lizzo.
So a double McHenry.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a burger.
I'm hungry now. Right. And I'm hungry for this next game. Boy, oh boy. It actually, I tell a lie. There's absolutely nothing to play for here. This is the Saturday night game. The Essendon Bombers, the Richmond Tigers at the G. Wowee. We'll have a talk about Essendon in a tick. But Dan, look, Dan, sensible, please, if you don't mind. Dan, Richmond, brilliant. Essendon, most insipid performance I've seen after quarter time from that team in I don't know how long.
That's bad.
Now, surely that tells the tale. Can we expect different?
No, absolutely not. This will be Pouchine pounding territory again. I sat down and watched the back end of that game.
Oh, God.
Because I didn't really have the drive to sit and watch the full 4 quarters.
Yep.
Sat down and watched the back end of the game. And when you're getting goals, the ones with handballed over the top to someone standing in the goal square, the other Essendon players just standing around like, oh, well, whatever. That's bad. That's really bad stuff.
I was listening to Triple M radio on the way home from visiting a client, and who was it? Mickey Roberts, I think it was on the boundary line saying that he said, "Boys, I'm down here, and Essendon players are coming off. Ben Rutten is standing on the boundary line with his arms crossed. Players are actively avoiding looking at him as they're coming off and just going to the bench. He's walking around. He's not saying anything. It is awkward down here, boys. And that, I don't know, that's bad.
Well, he's gone.
Look, he's still coaching this week, obviously.
Did he know he was gone?
No,
He's not gone yet.
Yet being the operative word. Look,
there's no confirmation of such chat. Personally, I think it's quite disrespectful to Ben Rutten. I don't think he deserves that. Even if you're going to get rid of him, that's fine. But going about it in this way is just
AFL media are just despicable,
just treacherous,
the lowest of the low.
I don't like it. No. But I think he's gone.
They're wet guns. AFL media are a bunch of wet guns.
If Clarko says I'm keen, done.
What do you think?
See you later.
You would. You 110% would. Anyone would. If the Crows said, do you know what I mean? Hell, if Clarko said, I want to go to Richmond, I promise you they'd be like, shh, boys.
My strong suspicion is that's why Koshi came out and told the world that Ken Hinkley was his man for 2023. I reckon Clarko's probably told him. Not interested in it.
Probably. That's my suspicion.
Got that port.
That's my suspicion. Look, Richmond, unbelievable. Consider that Rewalt had a quiet day by his standards, and he's getting to the back end, but for all intents and purposes, quiet day. Dustin Martin was not there at all. Shai Bolton, well held, had something like 13 touches. That's not a lot. They didn't need him. Prestia is the midfield at the minute. Unreal. Lynch, 8 goals. Could have had 10, but Noah Cumberland had his sticky fingers all over the ball.
I like that,
and thought, I'm going to have a little nibble.
Good on him.
I rate that from
That's
Cumbers.
a good forward.
That's good from Cumbo.
So he should.
Yeah. If you're not getting fed, steal another man's food.
Bit of selfishness.
I'm a big
A
fan.
bit like Rewalt. Do you see the free kick on Lynch and then Rewalt stealed it out? That was awesome. They need to play
Standard
that more.
Rewalt maneuver.
Even though they played it way too much, they need to play that more because that is actually funny.
It is. But in all seriousness, taking the funny side, the pressure that Richmond is now throwing at the ball in the contest, unbelievable. Cotchin's wound the clock back, had 30 on the weekend again.
This is his best season for a few years.
Since 17.
He's been solid throughout, but he's genuinely having a field
his
day.
clearances, like he just seems to, whenever Richmond get a necessary clearance, is the way to describe it. It's always Cotchin.
He's a leader.
He always just seems to, whenever they need it, he always seems to lift up this season.
Do we underrate him as a captain a bit?
I never have.
I think by and large he does get a bit underrated.
Is that because of Dusty though? Probably. Do you think?
Well, there's the on-field performance, but then there's the stuff that he does off the track with the boys, that leadership stuff, those soft leadership skills that we don't see. And look, you've got to have something about you in order to captain a club to 3 flags.
Dynasty level.
He is. So you've got to give him his credit. Credit to a young bloke as well, young Momo Rioli. I'm such a fan of him at the minute. No, I love him.
You know what's the deal with what's the Rioli thing? How it's his first year in the league, isn't it?
No, it's his first year
and
playing.
They said 3, and they said within 3 years, and that's why I'm making a call.
What are you on about?
Richmond could win the flag this year. I
wouldn't want to play him in finals.
No. I got them at $15. They're down to 10.
They're paying 12 at the moment. So
I'll put a $20 bonus bet on it. So it's not my real money. I'm not that confident. But
$12 is good crack though.
And
look, that again, we've said it before. They've been around these areas. They know finals better than
they're going to match
anyone else.
Essendon this year, and it's going to go down.
Well, and that's why I mentioned A, about the intensity, but B, about Maurice Rioli. Apparently, the points that Richmond have scored off of the back of turnovers that he's created is 113 points in the games that he's played. He's created that many turnovers that have resulted in many goals being scored.
He's just always there.
Always
there.
And he's indicative of that Richmond outfit. Essendon, I don't know. You could sack Rutten, but it's not changing the players' attitude.
They've had a good finish to the season.
Who Dons?
Besides last week, they've had a really good finish to the season. Comparatively,
they got beaten by GWS the week before as well. They're just
but they beat teams like Sydney.
Yeah, but their highs and their lows, they're such swings, man, and it's all up above the shoulders, all of it.
Mm-hmm. And look, I think probably last year we did overrate what they did a fair bit. Last year they finished 8th. Do you know how many top 8 teams they beat all year? 1.
Boom.
What was it?
I'm not sure.
By 1 point.
Could well have been. The article I was reading didn't say. That's that's not a top 8 team. And I think we just saw top 8. Oh wow, they must be flying. They're not.
No, they're not. And look, what's his face? Parrish had 29 touches. Were they effective? Do you know what I mean? Did he put the team on his back? Presti had 30. Absolutely put the team on his back. Why was it blokes like D'Ambrosio and Perkins? How old are these fellas? 18, 19?
That D'Ambrosio, I think, did he make his debut against Sydney? Or I've never seen him
about
until
5 or
Sydney.
6 weeks ago.
But he went nuts. Yeah, he went nuts in that game. He was actually fantastic.
But why are those the
He's
two
good.
blokes?
He's very good.
Why are those the two blokes that are grinding and putting the hand up and putting the head in the hole?
Because
Where's everyone else?
Well, we know the Essendon leaders are weak as water, mate.
Hold on,
They are. It is what it is. You know, we don't want to denigrate blokes, but that would be the weakest senior group of players in the league.
Dyson Apple was my overrated player last year.
No
In the award show.
No slagging off at the bloke, but I've genuinely never been a giant fan of that captaincy decision. But that's just my personal opinion on that. Richmond 40 plus. They are going to smash this to bits. Smash it to bits. Camden McIntosh. Did you mention him last week?
I did.
I looked at those stats. He's not dropped under 15 since about round 13. Okay?
I still just don't like the look of him.
I'm sick of you. All you do is judge people on their appearances. You talk about gunts. You're a hateful person.
No, I do get what you mean, though.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
I actually look. I mean, he's been going about it well this year.
Yeah, mate, so consistent.
Again, he's another one. Just buys into the Richmond system.
Use the Richmond system
complicitly.
It's him, Vlosten.
100% effort, 100% of the time.
And I'm a big fan. That's why I've got him down for 15 disposals this week. He's not gone under that since about round 13. Bank him in the game this week. What else? Presti at 25. I've blown his bags up now. He's got to do it for me. Same with Cochin.
It's hammy time, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Blown his bags up.
Yeah. Yes. Better those bags than any other ones that you could be doing. Trent Cochin, 20 plus. Thanks, Mum. Old No Cumberland for 2 goals. Thank you. Was paying about $1.57 or so. He's had 2
full on.
He's kicked 2 goals in something like 3 of his last 4 or 4 of his last 5, something like that.
Free.
He's handy.
He's not bad at all. Dylan Shield, 20 plus, because someone's got to get the touches for the Dons. And old Dick Farton for Essendon, your man.
Oh, Dick Farton.
Nicky McMartin.
That was a pretty good one, eh? I got to admit that. Got to pat myself on the back.
15 disposals for Nick.
For me.
15 disposals for Nick. $7.50 on that one.
I had your boy Mo Rioli for a goal.
Momo.
Rioli.
I love him.
And Matt Guelphy for a goal.
Momo.
Guelph, did he get one last week?
He did not, but
no one did.
he does it most weeks and kicked 4 the week before, so you just back it in. $1.62.
I rate that big time. Saturday night game at the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide Power.
It's exciting.
Let's get through
Adelaide
it.
Crows.
It's not that exciting.
Showdown
it means
time.
Nothing. It means nothing because Port went 0-6.
Showdown always means something. It's always bragging rights.
Port
mate.
went 0-6 to start the year, and Crows
0-5. Don't rag them down.
Did they go 0-5?
0-5, yeah.
This one. Hinkley told us.
Oh no. Oh no.
How's that going?
You can't be giving that.
Nah, Port are going to get up here. Oh, I didn't do my analogy for the Tigers and Bombers. Oh well. We'll go to Power. We're going to use Pokemon terms here.
When in doubt.
I can't believe you just said this showdown means nothing. They always mean something.
They always mean something.
Doesn't to me, mate, because the season's over. I like winners.
You are an awful fan.
You're genuine.
I like winners.
No, look, Chad Corns was on.
We
was
had
on
our
the
grand
news.
final when Dawson kicked the winner last showdown.
No.
So if the Crows lose this one, well, whatever, move on.
Yeah.
Port aren't making finals, and I am eternally happy for that. They have underachieved this whole year.
Do you see what I said about a hateful person?
Underachieved this whole year. They should be a top 4 side. They should be sitting where Collingwood are or Brisbane. And guess what? They're not. They're sitting 11th. They're double digits.
I probably agree with you, to be honest with you. But look, Chad Corns was on the news tonight saying, we hate him. We hate him. We hate the team. We hate everything they stand for. I love that.
Well, guess
this
what?
is the last true rivalry in AFL football.
Hate us all you want, but you're not going to hate us. You're going to hate us when you see us in Bali. Because guess what? We're going to Bali.
That's fair.
Sunday the 21st of August.
Colin Firth going to Bali with Big Cole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the law. The footy guys have bitten my tongue because they know I'm talking absolute rot.
Speaking of biting your tongue, do that for a second while I talk to Dan. Dan, Crows ran out the game again. Burgess mode.
Darren Burgess, baby.
Activate. 3 wins in a row. Mm-hmm. Twice now in a row, they've kicked over 100 points in the game. Mm-hmm. Now, admittedly, against big blobs of poo.
Yeah, but still, it's not what we normally do. We normally lose to those.
Again,
Correct.
Had Josh Kennedy's final game. Oh, that's a good victory in my book.
I love that they mashed Kennedy's last game. Cop that, mate. Kick 8 goals. Guess what? Loss.
Oh, so you dunk on a bloke who's been nothing but a reliable servant for a team and a figurehead. You dunk on him, you old retiring man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, scoreboard. Yeah, giving it the big one. We're Port Adelaide. Showdown. Oh, whatever.
No, because
whatever.
I'm in finals mode. I'm in finals mode, mate.
Yeah, you've got no consistency at all. I tell you, the rules that you live your life
The
by.
consistency of
power up
diarrhea
against
mostly
22
the same as
crows,
what
mate.
comes out of his mouth.
22 power up against 22 crows. All I'm saying is using Pokemon language, electric beats flying. So power are going to win.
Genius. I can't argue with that. Look, mate, Port didn't stop attacking. Now, historically, I've slagged them off for bending over and wilting in games. I haven't been seeing that this year. Certainly not in the back half. They've been fighting out games and staying
Melbourne
in.
have something to say about that.
But if
For the
Port's,
most part, they've tried. They
genuinely have.
I'm
And
teasing, I'm
if
just being
Port
a
had
hater.
started that way this year, as you said, that we'd genuinely see them pushing at top 4. We honestly would, and it's just a shame. I think they're going to really grind this out. And I promise you, it's nagging shit out of them. I bet you they're replaying that Dawson goal 100 times a day this whole week leading into it. They're going to come out. They're not having anything less than a win. I'm going 40 plus Port Adelaide.
40.
Yep.
Wow.
They're going to put the foot down.
Well, to be fair, they were 30 points up and then Crows clawed back. And then they were another 40 points up and Crows clawed back. So they've got the pushing power to pound the poutine.
I'm taking them 1-39. I'm taking Port. I think it would be borderline insanity to tip the Crows against them again. Doing the double over them would just be embarrassing for Port.
I mean,
Really embarrassing.
I love how they put it in round 23. It's just a shame that it doesn't mean anything.
no, it always means something.
It's good because it means both teams have a game in the last round of the year that means something.
'Cause you
I
circle
guarantee
it.
you there's not one person in either of those buildings walking around saying, "Oh, fuck it, I don't care."
Yeah, exactly.
Just a showdown, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Grow up.
Jimmy Rowe's probably just playing golf with Jezza.
Yeah. Jimmy Rose off for the Dogs next year, mate.
He's he's checking out real estate in Footscray, mate.
I would have thought so.
And,
no,
and where the closest H days is to his house.
Uber Eats, mate. It's always at your house. Look, Jonas versus Tex, big. Aaliyah versus Fogg, big. Crows are going to have an advantage in the ruck, I would have thought, at the moment. There's a lot going on here. It's blokes like Saligo versus Dersma. Saligo versus Butters in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Berry, Rosie. There's a lot to like here.
I'm just going to counter that by saying it means jack shit, mate.
Oh, there's a lot to like here. Individual performances are going to be very interesting.
Absolutely.
Very
And
interesting.
just one more quick note on Port. They've got a lot of salary cap space going into next season.
Dunkley. If
So
they
if
do not
we-
sign Dunkley,
So if we don't see them
we
top
so
4
upset.
next year, something has gone drastically wrong.
Dunkers.
I
Dunkaroos.
just wonder now if they've backed themselves into a bit of a corner with Hinkley, because it's another year. If they do well next year, you've got to give him an extension. How long do you give him? How long do you keep the wheel turning?
It is very funny that the fan base have just absolutely sharted.
Yeah, but they do that. Port's fan base just chew each other up, man. Like, you just don't see it with anyone else. Not to that extent. It's unbelievable. Port. Yeah, that's what I said. And that's what I'm sticking with. Look, let's talk bets. Oh, I went a bit silly. You go first.
Okay, I've got Zach Butters for a goal. He's kicked 6 in his last 3. I'll take that.
Chubbers.
I've got Lockie Murphy for a goal.
He did that last week? He did, didn't he?
He
A
did.
big long ranger.
He did.
Ooh.
He did, he's kicked one of his last 5 games. Still paying $1.95. That's good value for him.
It's massive value.
And I've got Rosie 20 plus for a little fluffer. That's $1.22, but just
Tidy.
a little bit of spice.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right.
We'll just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on that one.
Sriracha.
I did have Rosie for 20 plus. I did have Butters for a goal. I also had Butters for 20 plus. I also had Boak for 25. I also had Wines for 25. I also had Laird for 30. I had the Fog and Walker 2 goals apiece. All of that together, north of $22.
Cannot believe that Falk almost got 5. I'm still PTSD and over that hard.
I'd have laughed if he got it for you. All right, real quick, we're going to do some actual genuine football chat for a bit because it's been a big week. There's a lot. Now, we're at the end of the season where all of a sudden everyone's turning the eyes forward. A lot of trade talk going on. The coaching roundabout, the merry-go-round rather, it's kicking off. Dan, we mentioned it earlier a few weeks back. Clarko, right? It's all been said. The AFL media is frothing at the penis at the minute. Or forget the permutations about who could finish where in finals. It's all about where does Clarko finish. And they're all finishing all over each other at the minute thinking about it. I'm just about done. I want to know from you, a genuine football mind, and possibly Desmond, who is a certifiable fool, what you think...
I'm Desmond, the most intelligent man on the panel.
Officially, yeah.
Officially.
Accredited.
But you are an ape.
Yeah. Clarko. A, where should he go? And B, where is he most likely to go?
Well, I think after the news reports today, I think it's fair to say he's probably most likely to end up at Essendon.
And I second that.
Why?
Well, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. It seems to have come together reasonably quickly. I just think that if you're picking between the two teams, you're probably going to take Essendon.
I still don't understand the chat. Like, why would Clarko even want to go to North Melbourne? I understand the challenge, but come off it.
You mentioned it to me before the show. North has got way too many problems to fix, and Clarko didn't want to rebuild the Hawks, so why would he want to rebuild North Melbourne?
Why?
I'm glad that you said that after my comment, because it just doesn't make sense to me. It never made sense to me.
I would most like to see him at North, purely because I genuinely feel, as a fan of the AFL, they need a stabilising process. You mentioned getting in some other young coach again. I just think that just continues the cycle. They've already tried that. It's already failed, 3 times now. How many more times do you persist doing the same thing over and over again? To me, it's just madness. Clarko would be a stabilising presence. You'd likely be able to attract just about anyone in the league because he's got the pulling power, and who wouldn't want to play for Clarko? I would most like to see him at North.
You would like to see him at North?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works here. I think Essendon. I think he's gonna be a bomber, especially after the reports today. Like, it's a bit rough to chuck that out there. Why would the Bombers want that out there if they're not going to move?
Well, there's a full external review coming out, and surely that will also come with.
But that's like, still, you don't want to air your dirty laundry unless it is dirty. I would like to see Clarko at the Bulldogs. I want to see Luke Beveridge out, and I want to see Clarko at the Bulldogs. Do you know why? Because it's a bit like the Giants situation, where you go, they've got a lot of talent. Obviously, they made a grand final last year, and they're underachieving this year. Bevo out, Clarko in. Imagine Jamara under Clark. Stumbling now because I'm so excited. I'm turning into a wet gun because I'm thinking about it.
But Bevo has taken him to 2 grand finals in his time there,
and gone from grand finalists last year to near as damn it missing out, and they could very well miss out this year.
I'm not saying they
miss any other year. This is a giant story.
Clarko, Dogs. That's what I'd like. Would it makes sense? You look at it.
It's an interesting suggestion.
Everyone else is kind of settled in. Like, I would like to see him at Collingwood, but I don't want to replace him. I don't want to replace
McRae after a year. Jesus,
you know what I mean?
A seriously
Geelong,
good year at that.
Geelong, big eyes. Brisbane, if I like Buddy, I like the man up top. I like Fagan, so you couldn't get him at Brisbane.
I'd say, look. Why is no one talking about GWS? If I woke up and one morning and I looked in the mirror and realised I was Alistair Clarkson and GWS said, "Do you want to coach here?" I'd say absolutely. Very good list, prime to contend. Just need to chop out a few blokes that play for themselves, get in a few more structural pieces, instill a bit more of a hard edge. B, they've got bulk money, you know that. AFL's going to take care of them big time. C, you're out of the bubble of Melbourne. And you can just do your own thing up there, live your life. You're not going to be harangued and harassed by the AFL-centric Melbourne media.
I think that's
why would you not?
I think that's why it doesn't make sense for Clarko to go. Like, they've got everything to support a young coach, whereas North don't. North needs someone like Clarkson who's been around the traps, knows everything. He can handle the Victorian media because he did it forever at Hawthorn. To me, it just seems like a perfect match. That's just my opinion.
Dogs.
At GWS, he would make waves. Big time. I just feel like for the balance of the competition.
But what happens in 3 years when North still haven't made finals?
Well, then Clarko takes his money and see you later.
I'd say if he's doing it for the money, then good luck to him.
Situation. They just handballs it on someone else. Paul Roos.
I think people would be more willing to say, if they're 3 years later, they're still not in finals, they'd probably say, we'll give Clarko another couple of years. Because you'd be able to see some progress. It would be a Brendan Bolton type situation with Carlton. Oh, what's that? 2 years with the worst list in the league and you haven't made finals? How does get lost sound?
More or less what happened.
Like, that's
where is Bolton now?
Somewhere.
Is he not here?
Somewhere.
I don't know where he is. No, I think he's not Sydney, is it?
Nah.
I
feel like he was at the Pies, maybe.
I think he's at the Pies.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, I just feel like the North job is a poison chalice for another new coach. They will just get murdered.
Director at Collingwood, big eyes on that.
No.
They will just get murdered.
Brendan Amafio, listen to me. Get Mark Williams in the door ASAP. Trust me.
That's fine too.
Trust me. Imagine. Sunday lunchtime at
Big eyes.
Yeah, huge. That'd be great. Sunday lunchtime at UTAS Stadium, down in Tasmania, of course. It is the Hawthorn Hawks versus the Western Bulldogs, who are soon to be without a coach in Desmond land. Desmond, go. Tell me.
Just quickly, Blighty would be out the door so fast at North Melbourne. Those players would not be able to tolerate it at all.
Well,
At all.
North Melbourne legend.
They couldn't even tolerate David Noble.
That was one of my points. That was one of my points of to make North great again. Obviously, Northers don't want to be good. That's okay.
Clearly.
we need jobbers.
And look, we're 6 weeks down the line. There's still no Keith.
There's dog of the week. Yeah, I know. Duh. How is that? I was expecting to see it at Adelaide Oval.
Duh.
Did I not say that Adelaide Oval? I said, what could we have at halftime right now that'll be entertaining? Bring out Keith.
And I said, yeah, have Keith
Instead of
Kangaroo.
watching a bunch of kids play footy.
Boring.
Get
I want to watch
Keith
Keith
out.
fight.
No, they were good though. There was one 7-year-old girl who weighed as much as Lizzo, and she was carving up. She was kicking goals from full
was
back.
actually good to see. She'll play
There was
AFL
some good kids down there.
Porter on the sideline signing it right now.
Tell us about this game.
Hawks and Dogs.
Dog
go.
of the week, but it's not the Dogs. Hawks are going to get up here. University of Tasmania away. They're in Tassie. It's looking good. And when you put 22 Hawks up against 22 Bulldogs, Bulldogs aren't that agile. Hawks are. Death. Hawks W. Nah, in all seriousness, I genuinely had the Dogs to make finals. I cashed out that bet because I was paying like $4 and now it's down to about $2.50. Did not like it. Like it. Cashed the winnings. Took about $13 profit, which was disappointing because I thought I was going to win a bag of money. But I'm not seeing it at all. They looked horrendous against the Giants. I watched that last quarter when I got home from the footy, and they look like seaweed. All I could think of was just, it was smell it. Just smell the sea air. It was just gross. They're not going down to Tassie and beating Hawthorn. They're not going. Hawthorn have showed that they've got a little bit of spirit this season, even though I bagged them out for most of it.
They rose above.
I genuinely think the Hawthorn are just going to lift and they're going to beat the Dogs here. Whenever it matters, the Dogs seem to not show up. It's as simple as that.
Look, I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to tip the Dogs. I don't know if you saw the game on the weekend, but Hawthorn is already in Bali. They're done. They're absolutely done, mate. There was a bit of buzz before the game because Sam Mitchell had mentioned trying a few of these new tactics out, using 3 taggers instead of the one on every line, blah, blah, blah. Hawks players don't care, mate. They just don't give a shit.
It doesn't matter because the Dogs are just not there.
It doesn't matter. They just have to be at the stadium.
A few things.
If you say Hawks here, I'm gonna be very happy.
I'm hearing both sides.
Please.
Right? No, look, I'm hearing.
Please.
Well, we know Rich's favourite trope is when they play in Tasmania, when they were good.
I'm hearing a few
10
things.
years ago.
No, I'm hearing a few things. The
He's gonna
corresponding,
say it, isn't he?
the corresponding game last year. Okay.
Yep.
End of the year last year, Hawks played Dogs. Mm-hmm. Where did they play?
Tassie.
Who won?
Tassie.
Who won? Hawks won the corresponding game last year. Dogs are 2 wins and 5 losses at UTAS in their history.
It's not bad.
Dogs have been wasteful and uncertain going forward most of the year. I've got written down here.
They've been. We said it last week. They've been the exact same team from start to finish.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's evolved.
Does McGuinness go to Smith?
McGuinness.
No, is McGuinness.
To who?
Smith.
Could do.
Would you tag Dunkley? Probably not. Would you tag McRae?
You'd surely just tag Bont.
Does the game matter that much?
If he sits forward.
McGuinness has gone forward with players. When he tags. Like tags.
I like him as a tagger. I'd like to see him go to Smith. I've actually got the Hawks 1-39.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
The most delayed reaction. He looked over like, what's just happened? Yeah, wasn't listening at all. No, I've got the Hawks 1-39.
That's fair.
I genuinely don't think. I'm not saying the Hawks are good.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not. Look, and I'm not. If this
I don't like that I've beaten Dan now, and he knows that I'm the most intelligent man because he's
going red from anger as well. Yeah.
He's so uncertain now. He's like, I wouldn't be surprised. Mate,
why would I be surprised? Have you watched the Dogs once this year?
They suck.
They are so ordinary.
It is really.
It would not be surprising.
Dude, if this
wouldn't be surprising.
If this was being played at Marvel, I'd go the Dogs.
Yeah,
I'd go the Dogs. Des. I would go the Dogs if it was being played at Marvel. It's in Taz, and that is the deciding factor for me. Hawks 1-39.
Dogs are disgusting.
Hawks 1-39. I've got a few bets.
Pigs.
I'm looking at no pigs here, just Hawks. I'm looking at James Sicily, Dylan Moore for 20+. Thank you. I've also gone Ed Richards 20+ as well. Mm-hmm. He had 24 on the weekend. Just does not dip under.
Still $1.52 as well.
Huge odds. Huge odds on that. Blake Hardwick, my man, 15+ disposals. Thanks, Mum. Jack McRae back in the winners list with his 30. I'll be having a big mouthful of that. Bailey Dale, 25. Tim English kicked a goal in, I think, his last 6 games, something like that. Putting together a little bit of a run. I don't see Ned Reeves or anyone going with Big Boy, I suppose. Big Boy's last game, won't it?
Last game.
He's not going to run with. He's not going to run with English. Let's be real. No. So English for another goal.
All
of that
game.
together. All of that together, $14.
Big Boy for a goal would probably be a shout in his last game.
Let me find out.
I imagine that would be a
Let
goal.
me peep it. What you got?
For bets, I've got Justin Kashitsky for a goal.
Yep.
Dollar-
How are we
$1.40.
pronouncing that last name? What was that again?
Kashitsky?
That'll do.
I don't know.
Hello. Makes me hungry.
That's how I used to say the big boy.
What? Ben McAvoy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nah,
sure.
what was the one that played for the Saints? I always forget his first
Justin.
name.
Yeah,
Justin, yeah.
Justin
yeah,
Kazitsky.
Yeah.
Not Jacob.
Jacob. Right. Ed Richards for 20 plus, you already said. Did you have Baz Smith for 25?
I did not.
Then I've got him for 25.
He's getting tagged.
Beautiful.
$1.50, $1.35.
What's the
sorry.
pain?
He's getting tagged. You heard it here first. Big boy McAvoy is only $1.30 for a goal.
Probably just chuck it in.
Well, why not? Have a bit of banter in that.
Narrative.
Bet, true. Sunday afternoon at the MCG. Speaking of narrative bets, oh shit. You know what? I'm going to break with tradition. I don't want to finish on St Kilda and Sydney. So let's do St Kilda Sydney first. Sunday twilight game. Marvel Stadium, St Kilda Saints versus Sydney Swans. Des, give me 15 seconds of horse shit and then I'm going to talk to Dan.
Yeah, but then you only get a minute because this game means absolutely nothing. Because if you get a pack of Swans and a pack of Saints, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think Saints are very good at fighting. They're only good at granting wishes, only good at biblical stuff. So the Swans, bang. Like Swans by 50.
You know what you said before? That was the stupidest thing you ever said?
Yeah.
New clubhouse leader.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Swans by 50.
How does a swan defeat a divine power?
Why don't you go and get a bit of bread, hold it at the pond, at some swans, see the swan come at you, and take the bread away, or go near a swan's small child, then you will see.
But divine spirits are see-through and therefore, like,
Yeah, but
technically
they're passive.
untouchable.
They're passive. It's like fighting
The,
Gandhi.
sun, the
It's
swan,
like fighting
the swan,
Gandhi. Who would win in a fight
Swans
between
one offensive-
Gandhi and the Swans?
Swan's one offensive move, which is snapping,
Sure.
ineffective.
And chasing and honking.
Yeah.
No,
Unbelievable.
Gandhi versus Swans.
I'm right off you. You say this game is worth nothing. If Saints win and everything else goes their way, they finish 8th.
You know they have to win by 170 points.
And everything else goes their way.
I was going to say.
100. They've got to beat Sydney.
And everything else goes their way.
They're only 4% behind. That's not 170 points.
They're not finished. They'll be 4% behind Carlton,
If
and they're currently about 8% behind Carlton.
If Sydney win by enough, they go 2nd. If Sydney lose, they slide down as far as 6th.
Yeah, but they're not going to finish 6th because they're going to win. They're going to win
Look,
easy. They look great last week.
This
They're
game,
like 8-2 in their last
This game
10.
genuinely is a nothing game, apart
Yeah.
from how much the Swans win
6
by.
in a row. They've won 6 in a row. That's big.
It is big for them. Look, no, Saints, we can sum them up. The Saints from last week were exactly what St Kilda's been all year.
Shit the bed.
Showed glimpses, left a lot to be done by a few. Talent there, no consistency to speak of. Sharded the bed when they needed to keep clean sheets.
They're 3-7 in their last 10, mate. That
It's
is
junk.
a big shark.
It's just
They
junk.
literally just needed to win one of them to be in
Ever
finals.
since the bye, they came out of the bye and were just terrible.
A rabble. Yeah, they were. Whereas Swans backline looking really cohesive at the minute, and I don't think Max King is going to be much of a challenge. Remember, he's their only other genuine, seriously dangerous key forward, and he's always loping up the ground to try and get the ball because no one else wants to. I've enjoyed Mason Wood the last couple of weeks. I think he had, 4 on the weekend, and I really like that. I don't think he's a big enough of a threat, though, unfortunately, to genuinely trouble the Swans. Saints are just going to put the Q in the rack, whereas Swans, they want top 2. Mills, Parker, peaking at the right time. Buddy, Heaney and Papley continually finding ways to kick goals. This is very straightforward for me. Swans are going to look really good winning this one, 1-39.
Swans top 2. That's crazy, hey?
Yep.
I'm a genuine believer in that they can win a flag now.
Right now?
Yep.
You've changed your tune.
In Melbourne?
Because they've changed how they've gone about it.
True.
Since that game against Essendon, round 16, when I said they're one of the most disappointing teams in the league, they have looked nothing short of exceptional.
They were disgusting that game. I was watching them live.
And it wasn't just that game. There was the game against Gold Coast where they were shithouse. That they early on in the year they were ticking along without really impressing. Now they've just gone to another level. And I actually, if this continues, I could see them winning a flag.
If they maintain it. So you're going Swans, I'd have thought.
Absolutely.
Swans.
But
Beautiful.
I would love to see the Saints win by about 160 just to, we fell 10 points short.
How funny.
That would be funny.
Autistic screeching coming from the AFL news, trade rumours and results page all night long. I wouldn't want to be a WWE female wrestler's inbox that night.
I wouldn't want to be a Google search engine.
Zooey mama. Let's talk about some bets. I've got Sydney to win, just outright. It's $1.35. Done.
Not bad.
Brad Crouch, 25. Steele, falling away a little bit. Crouch getting numbers. Love that. Luke Parker, 25. Your man, Robobot. James Rowbottom, 20 plus. Thanks,
How many did you get on the weekend?
Wait, is Crouch playing?
How many did Rowbottom get on the weekend?
A lot.
Crouch is out.
Is he?
Crouch
Suspended.
not playing. Yeah, I was going
Is
to
he
say.
suspended?
I was trying to look.
When did this
at your
happen?
bet.
Last week he
bumped.
Really?
He murderized Darcy Gardner's brain.
Damn.
How many did Rowbottom get last week?
24.
I didn't see 24.
24.
Told you.
I was bagging him out big time when he was on 1 with 7 minutes in.
Yeah, 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
I hate James Rowbottom.
Yeah. You're a loser, Des. All right, start again. City to win. Luke Parker, 25. James Rowbottom, 20. Oliver Florent, 15, who hasn't gone below that in about 12 games. Mason Wood, anytime goal scorer. It's not playing as much, obviously, without Brad Crouch in there, but it's still going to net you a tidy chunk of change.
Did anyone know I had to add that was our boy Errol Goulden for goal?
Nice.
$1.76, and he's done that in his last 5.
That's good enough for
He's
me.
hitting a rich vein,
He is.
young Errol.
He's sneaky.
That's good enough for me. Right, last one. We're going back. Game of the round for mine. This is the most interesting one of the lot, and I'm keen as a bean. It is Sunday afternoon at the MCG. It is the old foes, the historical enemies. They hate each other, like
Swans and Saints.
that'll do. Why
and
not?
Pol Pot and everyone.
Oh God.
He took it as I was thinking of analogies. I had blind people and I had midgets and such running through my head, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Wait, re-say the line. Re-say the line. I'll
No,
answer it.
literally everyone. He just hated everyone.
Re-say the line,
Basically.
Rich. You'll love it.
This is going to get us banned right here. Here we go. The old foes, the historical enemies who hate each other more than.
Dan and an intellectual quiz.
Oh, he's done him. Oh, his dad's on him big time. Oh, shit. It is the Carlton Blues. Carlton Blues versus the Collingwood Magpies. Dan, I want to hear what you've got to say on this one, mate.
That was obviously a heartbreaker for Carlton,
I
but
was going to say the quiz results were a heartbreaker, but that's all right.
it's not. I maintain my 95% winning record, and that's fine.
It's not.
I would prefer to say it was karma though
Well,
for the Patrick Cripps incident during the week.
well,
But based on what we know of the tribunal, that was a suspension.
yes. Not when you're the captain of a Victorian club. The Trent Cotchin rule came into play big time.
Who's looking at playing final? So that, for me, karma deserved it. Deserved a loss. Got what they deserved.
It's pretty
good.
good loss.
Ball don't lie.
And they actually played their best game for weeks. That was like watching the Blues from early on in the season.
Yes, it was.
Still couldn't get the job done. I just am laughing. It's going to be a big choke job if they fall out of finals, and I just love this at this time of year because it just makes it exciting. It's just good viewing.
It's good for the neutral fan.
It is.
What do you think? Who's winning?
In this one,
Yeah.
I have got the Pies
Well, worthwhile
You've
knowing.
got the Pies.
winning.
Wow.
It's worthwhile
Who's
knowing
back?
that if the
Have
Pies.
you just forgotten that Collingwood have come off an 11-game winning
No,
streak?
no,
They're
but
actually genuinely a good football team, and they've already beaten the Blues once this year.
I agree. I think Carlton played better that game, though. Carlton lost that game. Collingwood didn't win it.
I still think Carlton will probably make finals because I mean you
Well,
guys
they will because Dogs aren't going to.
you guys could be right if the Hawks win.
Oh, imagine the Saints.
They'll probably get in just by pure dumb luck.
Hey, why not? Probably. It would be a very Carlton thing to do. Just to let you know, Collingwood, if they win, they go as high as 3rd. If they lose, they go as low as 6th. So there's a genuine double chance on the line here. Carlton, we know. If they win, they potentially go as high as 7th. If they lose, they could still make it at 8th. Worst case scenario is, of course, it's all over Red Rover.
Basically, for Carlton, it's winning in. Like
It is winning in.
You just want
It
to
is,
win.
and they were undermanned as hell. Like you, it's interesting. You say Pies.
They will already know because the Dogs will have either finished or be coming to a conclusion at the time of their
Pretty
first
much
bout.
finished, 2 hours in?
So they'll have an idea of what's going on anyway. Yeah.
Could you imagine a Cos Pickett type goal, like in between, like it's like the start of the Carlton's first quarter and at the end of the Dogs game, and then out of nowhere, Dogs just come back and miraculously win, just deflates Carlton from the start.
Well, there'd be a lot of people.
games.
There'd be a lot of people laughing. Look, as you said, Pies already won against the Blues earlier in the year, and that was when Carlton had their back line, which they now don't. And look, all the things that happened, like Doherty going into the middle. I love that.
Masterstroke.
It was a masterstroke. Has he ever played there ever?
No.
But he's good
Looked
everywhere.
natural as hell.
He's good everywhere.
He's a natural athlete. He looked brilliant. Setterfield was not in there, was not picked. Not picked. And then came in at the last minute to replace Chera, had 26 touches. Great from him. The desperation all over the field was just fantastic. Jack Martin played one of the best games I've seen him play all year. I genuinely enjoyed seeing them go about it. They wanted it. You could tell they were hungry. You could tell they were playing. They knew exactly what they were playing for. They threw everything at Melbourne. It was genuinely disappointing for their fans that they didn't get that dub. Mm-hmm. You know, Cozzy Pickett just being a freak. If it was anyone else in that situation, anyone else,
it was awesome.
That'd have been
I was
all
off
right.
the couch, mate. It was unreal.
Unbelievable. I feel like the Pies bubbles burst, to be honest with you. 11 games. It's just been like, how high can we go? How high can we go? And now they hit some big bodies up at Sydney who gave them a firm lesson.
That's my thing.
Who?
The flu and DeGoey was out.
I actually think the opposite. I think this will galvanise them.
You reckon?
Yep. I honestly believe the culture they've built. This is something that they'll use as fuel, because people like you will say, "Oh, well, Collingwood's out. They're done. Season over."
I just feel like the bubbles burst.
They'll love that.
Ginnivan's out?
2 weeks ago, you were all over them winning the flag. You said they could do it.
They can do it.
But
Absolutely.
But the bubbles burst from one loss.
I believe that their bubble is going to be burst mentally. They have got the talent there. We know that from the body of work they've put together this year. They can win the flag. Absolutely.
I think that's the loss they needed to have.
But
much better to have it now than in 3 weeks' time.
Well, you make a good point there. Look, I've got the Blues. The Blues have got a lot more to play for, and watch them. It'll be Rocky. It'll be Rocky versus Apollo Creed.
I've got Carlton as well. I wouldn't say Rocky and Apollo Creed because Carlton are the ones that should really win. So
expecting 90,000 at the G.
Yeah, I'd love to go
for a Sunday afternoon
Can you
game.
imagine?
That's awesome.
That'd be dope. Imagine the atmosphere.
Appointment viewing.
Actual.
If you are a neutral fan, you must sit down and watch this.
I'm going Carlton 1-39. I have to.
I'm the same. I'm jumping on the Blues.
The desperation. This is going to be the game.
They played so well against Melbourne. They did play really, really well against Melbourne. And I think people underrate Melbourne. I've written them off. I don't think they're going to win the flag this year. But that doesn't mean they're still not going to make the grand final. All right. All right. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
What a horrible hill to die on.
And if you,
it's just terrible.
And I'm just going to finish off. Just if you get 22 Blues and 22 Magpies, and by blue, I'm just picturing just a sheet of blue. Those Magpies are suffocating, mate.
No, what about like depression?
Yeah, see?
What wins? Depression or a bird?
I can't answer that because I may get cancelled one day down the line.
Gee
but
whiz.
we know that those Magpies are not making it out of that dark corner, are they?
Oh, no.
Magpies would thrive there.
Yeah, well, they're half black already.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
They would thrive.
Yeah. Balance.
I don't.
No, you don't know. That extends.
I don't know how to comment.
Dan, talk to me about bets.
I've got Jimmy Elliott for 2+ goals.
Jimmy!
$1.70. You said Carlton's got no backline. James Elliott will take full advantage of that. Jimmy. I've got Nakos for 25+ disposals. Had their absolute life tagged out of him by Ryan Clark, and it was interesting to see how he went about it, and he did well. Still had 19 touches and kicked a goal. That is very impressive for a young kid.
They only lost by 27. It seemed like more at the time.
Did.
And Walsh for 30+. Collingwood mids don't care about other opposition midfielders, and Walsh loves it.
They're going to let him go to work.
Interestingly, I saw a stat today. He had 27 disposals on the weekend, Sam Walsh. 9 kicks. Do you know how many of them were effective?
Oh, no. 9 kicks? Oh, no. It's either going to be really good or really bad when he's saying it like this. I was going to say 3. Wow.
1 kick. 1? No one here is going to doubt the man's talent, but that's brutal.
That's underperformance.
That's bad.
That's not good at all.
Real bad.
I tell you what, Patrick Cripps is going to be playing like his life depends on it, and I've got him down for 25 touches
first final
week.
series of Paddy Cripps if he makes it.
Indeed, it will be.
Jeez, how old is he? 28?
27, 26, 27.
So he's wasted his whole career.
That's one way of looking at it.
Cop that, Pat.
Oh, really?
25 touches for Cripps. It's absolutely going to happen. They'll throw Doc back in the middle at some point because it worked so well, and you can bank him in for another 25 as well. The human brain, Braden Maynard, for 15 disposals. Thank you, Mum. I've liked Adam Sard's game since he got the hell tagged out of him by Keys. He's gone over 20 in his last 3 games. I expect Sard to have another 20 touches this week. Goals for Jack Martin and Darcy Cameron. Darcy Cameron's had a goal in, I think, 4 of his last 6, something like that. That's good enough for me. Put those together, $6.40. That is what I'm going to be banking on when I'm sitting there with a little tub of Haagen-Dazs watching the Blues and the Pies.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
I like it a lot.
Anything to add?
No.
You promised me that you were going to give me a haiku, and you have failed. You have failed the mission.
No, I forgot about the haiku. I do have one.
You have failed the mission.
Nah, here's one. Put the music on. Chime it.
Want to send us home.
There you go. To calm you down after a night's worth of stupidity and nonsense and high excitement, a haiku to calm you down. You don't need to do that. We'll sort that out in post-editing. Fool.
Carlton. 5-point loss. Ha. Cos Pickett kick goal. Carlton will make finals.
Not going to lie, he had us in the first half.
And not going to lie, that was one of your better ones.
Yeah, well, also true.
When you set the bar that low,
Yeah.
easy to hop over.
Yeah, well, it's not
How
too
can the man that lost in the English challenge hate on my English?
Well, true.
Even though it's Japanese.
I would dispute that being English.
Or anything you've ever said, really.
Yeah, but his opinion just doesn't matter because I won last week.
You hear that? At the end of the day, the opinions don't matter. Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us for another Round 23 show. We've loved having you on board this season. Get keen because finals are coming. Subscribe and like down the bottom there. I'd love it if you could just give that a little tap. That would be fantastic.
Right on the chest.
There's also the socials, Armchair Advisors on Facebook, Armchair AD on Instagram. Please, that would be absolutely tremendous if you could give us a little like. Gamble responsibly. Boys, it's finals. It's on the way. Have a great round 23. We shall see you very shortly.